Hey guys, it's Melanie Hinds, your fastest Iraqi Dinar Summary on the net. How are you today? I hope you're having a good Monday. It's Monday, yay! It's a good day to be alive. What do you think? Comment down below if you think it's a good day. If you need some encouragement, you can go to my live stream this morning. I lifted everybody up. I share tips on happiness today. Also had a good word from God, and one of my members also talked about she had a dream that it would be Wednesday. We do know some Intel people are saying that it's either Sunday or Wednesday are good times for it to happen. So she had a dream that it was Wednesday. We do know all the prophets are saying that the wealth transfer would come at a time when it was fear, doom, and gloom. So don't be gloomy, don't be fearing. Just subscribe, tap the bell, and you'll be a lot happier. I promise we'll make you happy. Guys, so we do the articles out of Iraq. We do know that they're doing something because their digital dinar is a lot lower than it was before. It got up to 445 or whatever, and I think that's all they wanted it to do. It could have been a test market of the stablecoin running their central banking system. We believe the central banking system is run by AI. I know that might, be like, how do you know that? Well, because our military sources were there. So these are the articles I covered, as well as some X articles. I'm going to do them in a different order that maybe you might see them on my live stream, but my live stream got into it pretty quick. Oil exports rank Iraq third among Arab nations, but they're above Kuwait, and we all know Kuwait is at 325 right now. I actually showed you all the countries and what their values are, and Iraq's not even on the list. It doesn't make any sense. So we are poised for this to happen. Oil prices dropped 4% on the U.S.-Iran de-escalation signs. Yeah, oil prices are way under, I think it was 85 a barrel, right? Even the futures price is predicted 92. It's up a little bit because they don't know what's going to happen because, it's really hard to not to negotiate with that. And then this was really good in the articles. You can always see something from the articles because, again, my auditing background. Iraq seeks 10 gigawatt regional power imports under new deal with GE, under new GE deal. All they did was talk about agreements where they said before they had a contract. There's a difference between agreements and contracts. There's a difference between memorandums of understanding and contracts. I talked about that on my live stream. If you want to know that deeper dive, subscribe, tap a bell, get on our lives. I'm live every morning at 9 a.m. without fail. Sometimes I'm earlier, sometimes I'm late. It just depends. I try to let you know. This morning I was very early. So I'm done early, which is why, because my husband's work is canceled, I have a broken foot. So anyways, ISX turnover jumps 240% in weekly trade. That is huge for their Iraqi stock exchange to jump 240% over last week. That means everybody's expecting something to happen. What do you think? Comment down below. That's just the way the markets react. Then on X, we discovered that this morning that you just have to go to my live stream this morning. I don't want to talk about it because it could have been an AI video, but it's something about returning our currency to a gold standard, maybe printing new currencies. I'd probably be the USN. That was all covered on my live stream. That's not particular to the Iraqi dinar, although we do think this is going to be a revalue and a redenomination of their currencies. I don't have any evidence or proof that that's actually going to happen here, because we've already heard Scott Bessent say that Trump would be signing the $100 notes that are being printed in this year, and that they gold, the value of the gold, I've shared that already. That's what they've said. I don't trust any video, right? Because AI can be dangerous. Be careful what you trust. I also don't think it's gonna revalue from 1-to-1 on up. I have the Forex letter that is going to come out at 4.8101. I've covered this before. Yes, the letter's dated May 27th, 2025, but everybody else is talking about Dr. Shabibi's letter, and he died in 2023. So that letter references a different white paper called the Albanian Center's 2024 white paper, and we've covered that here on my channel. So get in my live stream if you want to ask me questions about that. Also, we do know that Donald Trump said that we are holding 35 billion worth of Iraqi dinars. Do you know that even at the program rate of 1310, that's $45.85 trillion, right? No, wait, 35 billion US dollars worth of Iraqi dinars. Even at the program rate, that would be enough to pay off our debt. But I think he's got other ways to pay that off. Also, everybody saw Frank, the bank story. I covered that on my thing. Frank 26 had a great bank story about they have a De La Rue machine. They checked their Iraqi dinar. They didn't send them off. But that was in Tampa. Tampa has a lot of international flights. If you have my 3 steps, if you know, you know. You can't go to your regular bank and ask. Most people don't know about it. But some of the bigger areas that take a lot of international flights, like Tampa, they have those centers. They're going to put those there. Guys, anyways, just get my 3 steps. You'll be able to find a bank in your area. I live in Maine. I'm willing to drive hours. Are you? Okay. Also, there will be a qualitative leap for the Iraqi dinar. That was that. I think I covered that yesterday. That was the economic expert Haider al-Sheikh predicted a qualitative leap for the Iraqi dinar. I think that catches us up. We talked about some people think the Crypto Clarity Act has to pass. It has nothing to do with this. Trust me, the Crypto Clarity Act has nothing to do with the Iraqi dinar revaluing. I could go into more details. I will do that on the live stream. If you want me to talk about that, I can talk about anything financial, whether it's blockchain, what you would call QFS cards. Stay away from those. Also, stay away from the cryptos that are being promoted by bots in my channel. You'll know them because I won't like it and I won't love it, but I've warned you about it. They're promoting this one coin. Stay away from that. I try to keep you out of scams. QFS cards, in my opinion, are scams. Trust the traditional banking system. That's what God said. Don't worry about the banks. It's going to be messy. It's extreme. We're in the messiness. We're in the very messiness. So don't lose your shirt or your currency. Don't let them send them off. Keep it with you. Don't fly with it. Don't let it get absconded. That's why they're finding all these currencies that are held by these leaders in Iraq. They've seized a lot of Iraqi dinar. Why do you think they were holding on to it? Because they know this day is coming and it's now. So if you hold Iraqi dinar, put down, I am so ready. Guys, I'm so ready for this. I'm really ready. So this is Mountain Goat. Now I'm going to do the summary of everybody else. Iraq and the United States will sign the largest economic agreement in history. They're saying agreement, not contracts. Why? Because you have to sign individual contracts with individual parties. Like GE. They said agreement, not contract. Contracts come after they have a new rate. So the fact that they're signing these agreements, of course, they're talking. You're not going to hear about the WTO ascension. You're just all automatically going to get a rate overnight. And again, my friend had a prophetic dream that it was Wednesday. So maybe it's this Wednesday. What do you think? Let's see. Ariel is mentioning that expert talks about currency overhaul. We know they've already been educating the people on the removal of the zeros. They are going to have a new currency in Iraq. It's going to be 1s, 5s, 10s, traditional, just like in anybody that has a regular currency, they don't have a ton of zeros on them. They're obviously going to delete those zeros, but that's going to be in country only. That doesn't change the value of your currency, okay? Stephen, historically speaking, other countries who have done redenominations or revalues like Kuwait, their time period which changed was 47 to 48 days. If you're following my steps, we're going to be very well under that. We're going to be exchanging within the week. Okay, Frank 26, the monetary reform education to the Iraqi citizens has started. He looks forward to seeing much more of it come out. The monetary reform, meaning they have to tell their citizens about the new denominations. But the first thing was get them to take all their old dinar in and encourage them by the digital dinars in their banks. They could offer more money and more incentives for them to put their money in the banking system so that they go away from the dollar. I think they've already been doing that. I think they've already been successful. So we're just waiting for this to finally pop. Let's see, Samson, for the first time, non-oil revenues records the highest contribution to Iraq's finances at 16%. We think it's higher than that, but we'll have to wait and see. Militiaman, hypothetically, if they readjust the value of the currency and they drop zeros, it's going to be painful for anybody that holds a US dollar, because once that denomination changes, they can apply the real effective change rate. He's saying if you're going to get caught with a large amount of dollars and they change the real effective exchange rate, those dollars are going to be worth a lot less. So I think they've already been doing that with the bank. They've been trying to help the citizens trust the banks, trust the prime minister. This has been a whole trust exercise. That's why they arrested people. That's why they splashed it across the news. They confiscated their assets. Guys, they are trusting the banks. That's what they want for a country to trust their own currency. Okay, they want this country to be sovereign, right? They're going to have their own sovereignty, which means they're going to want to use their dollar, not the US dollar. The US dollar is always going to be used. It's the world reserve currency. But that it's not going to be used exclusively, because the Iraqi dinar is going to be higher value than the US dollar in their own country. And that's what's going to cause them to really use it. Okay. I hope that makes sense. If not, get on a live stream. And then I will say this, Intel Guru Guy, it's very clear in the last week, we've had roughly 10 years worth of solid news packed in 1 week. For those of us who've been invested for a long time, we've never seen this much movement ever. And guys, we've been fasting and praying on my channel. If you're a Christian and you fast and pray, if you believe in that, please join us. We get together and we talk about how to be safe, and we have levels on my channel where we talk about how to multiply your money as soon as possible. Amen. God bless. I'll see you later.